Greetings everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we'll be talking about Philippine banks being hesitant about giving out loans despite the fact that the central bank has eased their policies. This is in complete contradiction to what we talked about from our last video. But before we're going to proceed with this video, I want you to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share this to your friends and family if you like this content. Do note though, that it is not a source of advice. This is just for educational purposes only. And with that said, I'm Shama, bringing you in news and updates and providing you some insights on what they mean. As of now, local banks are being cautious when it comes to extending loans amid the pandemic. And this is based on the survey conducted by the BSP or the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. And the reason for the hesitation is to protect their borrowing portfolio from potential increase in the non-performing loans or NPL. Non-performing loans. In Investopedia, non-performing loans are loans in which the borrower or the one who takes out the loan has defaulted or hasn't made any scheduled payments for quite some time, which is about 90 days of no payments. Oh, thanks, Prof. No problem, Chad. Anyways, as of August, the NPL ratio in the Philippines is at 2.84%, which is about at the higher end of the standard in most ASEAN countries. Nevertheless, it is not as bad as back in 2008 recession, as we see here, where our NPL reached at 3.5%. Or back at the dot-com bubble, where the country's NPL reached about 20%. On top of that, compared to the rest of the countries, we are on the 26th out of the 100 in the rank of the best NPL rate using 2019 data. So there's still room for adjustments. Nevertheless, because of the possible rise in NPL, nearly half of the banks, based on the BSP survey, said that lending to enterprises and households showed a tighter overall credit standard for the period. So, I can't just take out a loan for some new AirPods? No, Chad. Especially not after the enactment of the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, where the borrowers are given a 60-day grace period to pay for their loan until the end of the year. And don't forget about the financial support, as we see here, from the government, which is a credit guarantee for MSMEs, wherein allocated 120 billion pesos to support micro, small, and medium enterprises facing economic difficulties due to the pandemic. Thanks for adding that in. Quite useful information for the business side. Anyways, despite the cautionary stance of the banks, it is not all blue and gloom here. The Philippine Statistics Authority reported on November 10 that the economy is recovering from 16.9% decline between July to September to about 11.5% decline for the third quarter. Though still negative, but a recovery is still a good sign. Depends how you look at it. For my case, I look at it as glass half full. On top of that, the BSP on the same day reported that foreign direct investments are up on August, about $637 million compared from the previous year's $434 million. This is the fourth consecutive month of FDI growth. It says here, the BSP attributed this to the investors' renewed confidence of the national government's fiscal stimulus and the BSP's accommodative monetary policy stance coupled with the relaxation of community restrictions. So, all in all, these recent signs are quite optimistic despite the cautionary position of the banks, which I think will eventually change because of the recent fiscal policies in place, which we'll be talking about that in the upcoming video. However, we are not out of the water yet. As said by the head of Asia Strategy based from Singapore, while growth is going in the right direction, it will take a while until pre-pandemic production is attained. The risk is the longer the recovery takes, the more permanent the destruction of incomes become. Let me help you there, Chad. What he is talking about is the structural change in the economy. If we are not quick to adapt to the new normal, or the severely affected industries are not yet recovered in a sustainable sense, our long growth potential will be lower than before. If we were here, we might end up just being here in the new normal. To give you a perspective, if a majority of our OFWs are working in the airline industry and the industry is laying off workers, and those who lost their jobs are finding it difficult to get re-employment, then it's a major loss to our economic potential as a nation. This is the same case from the coal miners in Britain after the Industrial Revolution. They had a challenging time finding new jobs because of lack of cross-training and reskilling. Okay, we have reached at the end of the video. What do you think about the current stance of the banks? Should they loan out more? Or should they remain conservative despite the positive signs? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I put the links of all the sites I use in the description. With that said, thank you for sticking with me and have a great day.